Hi, this is Steve Green at Assay Technology. Welcome to our new website. There's a lot of new aspects to the site. One of the most important ones is our new sampling guide. Our last sampling guide was a static document, and you just search on the different pages and you'd have to find the chemicals of interest. The new one is got some filters and search engines that allow you to get to the information much faster, but it is a little more complex, so I thought I'd make a video to help customers learn how to use it. So get started right away here. It's a link to the sampling guide's always in the top section of every page. It will build the sampling guide after you click it. And the first thing to notice is in our last sampling guide, since they were static documents, I only listed one chemical, the chemical badge or tube or cassette combination that we recommended. And if you wanted to know information about a badge that was okay to use but not the best choice in most cases, then you had to dig in other places on the website. But in this case, I'm able to list acetaldehyde twice. We bold the 571 selection because it's a better choice in that the 580 has such a low reporting limit compared to the OSHA limit. You're over 2,000 times lower than you need to be, and the 580 is a little more expensive, so the 571 is a better choice. But if you're doing indoor air quality and you need a really low reporting limit, then by all means use the 580. If the combination doesn't work, that there's something about it, it won't be listed on the site here. So that's your clue. So let's do some of these filters. Let's look. Right now I have it set to always default to 10 entries on the page. So there's 10 chemicals here. You can, if you find that cumbersome and you want to do more at one time, then you certainly can increase the size. But I'm going to stick with 10 on this particular query. So let's pick a badge, the 571 badge. All right, so it'll show you all the chemicals that we have tested on this badge. There are, by the way, some chemicals that customers will ask us to determine a sampling rate, but if we haven't validated it ourselves, then it won't show up here. But I will show you where it is. If a customer has asked us for a sampling rate and we haven't validated it, we will list it here. Haven't validated the analysis in the laboratory, just calculated the sampling rate. Then that's where these will be. All right, but the ones we have validated are on the site here. So these are all the chemicals that can be done by the 571. I want to point out the test group here and the test group here. So if the test group is the same, then the badge can be, the chemicals can be analyzed together. So we have one outlier here. It's OPA, O-phenaldehyde. It needs a separate prep than the other aldehydes. It didn't work with the normal aldehyde analysis, so we needed a special prep for it. So it can't be done together. So this is something to look for where we'll have, you want to make sure if you're going to select a number of chemicals that they all have the same test group. And you can search by many different test groups. So I'm going to unselect that. Actually, I'll clear the filter just to show you how to clear the filter. So that clears these filters here, and then I'll rebuild. So I'm going to go to the 521 monitor, our fast sampling rate organic vapor monitor. So it'll list all those. Note that some are bolded and some are not. The ones that are bolded tend to have a low regulatory limit, so we recommend the fast sampling rate badge, this one, to get low reporting limits. The ones with really high PELs, then we tend to recommend the 546 badge because you aren't worried about the reporting limit, you're worried about capacity in those situations, so we want a slower sampling rate badge. So here's the test group OVA list, and then here's an OVB list. So this one goes with OVBs, and then benzyl alcohol is all by itself. I don't have one for it. So again, it's listing all the chemicals that we done on the 521. I'm going to click on this link here to show you the product summary page for the 521. I'm going to right click it though, so I open it up in a new tab so I don't lose the sampling guide. So here I can find out information about this particular monitor, technical lab request forms, storage, learn about this organic solvent panel, and other notes can be done in here. I'll point out down here, if you happen to be in this section and not in the sampling guide, if you clicked on this link, it would show you all the chemicals that can be analyzed by this badge, the 521, and that works for all the badge summary pages. So back to here. I'm going to point out these little plus signs. So based on how big your screen is, whether you're using a tablet or a laptop or a desktop, then it will show the number of columns that it can. If it can't show a column, then it'll drop it into here. So this has a lot more information than just it appears at the beginning. This allows us to not have a really small font and trying to jam it all in there together. So now this list will get longer if this is a shorter list. So it should be easier to read. I have a place for notes, although I don't have any notes for acetone. So there would be like a subcontracted or a sampling suggestion or a reminder. The notes I've tried to populate a lot. Fortunately, I've picked one that doesn't have a note. Benzene. No, I don't think any of these have notes either. And also, this doesn't have a synonym. Let's get a good one. Let's go to. I was going to go to methanol, but methanol is not allowed on the 521 in most cases. But let's go to methanol. All right, so I typed in methanol. It showed me methyl alcohol, and the reason why I did that is because I have under synonyms down here I have methanol. So when I did the search engine for methanol, it found it. Now here's a note that I've got. I say methyl alcohol isn't recommended on the 521. There are limited situations where we would say the 521 is okay for methanol because it just doesn't stick to carbon very well, and this fast sampling rate badge, it will come back off. So we recommend the slower sampling rate badges for methanol. So it also has a place for the regulatory methods that we're following. No method is exactly the same, almost none. There's different columns, there's improvements that we've done, so we can't call it exactly OSHA 7. So you'll see modified a lot. Or if you need to know the price of the chemical, if you're not buying the analysis and the badge together, then you can go to the price list there. Let's see, and I think that's all I need. Oh, I know, the boxes. Okay, so the boxes, the so-called sticky boxes, I call them that because when you click on the box and you go to another search, so it'll come up, so it'll leave the one that you clicked on. So that means you could build a list of a whole bunch of different chemicals at one time, and then you could have them all on your screen. By the way, this came up, this is 2,4-TDI. The T has got toluene in it, so that's why the toluene searched these two first. But so I could have searched under the 546 as well, and then it would show me all the toluenes of 546, which is probably more commonly the case, and that somebody's building a list of chemicals that could be done by this badge, so they know they can select it when they buy it, and they can see that the list is the same. And that's it. So thanks for looking at the video, and if you have any questions or suggestions, and it's a brand new site, feel free to contact us, and we'll be happy to hear from you. Thank you.